Welcome to Gutsy Coach Week and Get Gutsy episode number 96 with Julia Slike on Coaching Finds You. Welcome to Get Gutsy. I'm your host, Jenny Fennig, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you. A cutting-edge show blending business and spirituality, Get Gutsy serves up a potent blend of stories, lessons, and tips to help you make a massive impact in the world through your soul's work and your inspired life. No more going it alone, no more excuses. The world needs more brave women saying yes to leadership. Are you with me? Good. Let's get gutsy now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get Gutsy. If you've been a long-time listener, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. You are catching the show at a really exciting time. It is, drumroll please, the start of Gutsy Coach Week. Gutsy Coach Week is awesome. It was a download, an idea I had as we were gearing up for our big splash for our next class of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. And we wanted to shine a light on, rising star coaches, those, light worker leaders who are out there doing amazing work with their gifts and talents. And the woman I have for you today, you are going to just go crazy for her. She has a heart of gold. She doesn't ever give up. And she just has such a positive spirit and a go for it attitude. And she's the perfect person to kick off Gutsy Coach Week, and you'll learn why as we get deeper into our conversation. Her name is Julia Slike, and I'm going to tell you more about this gal with her official introduction, and then let's chat. You know how we roll here on Get Gutsy. Lots of genuine, real conversations from leaders who have a message for you to learn from today. So Julia Slike is the founder of Julia Slike & Company, an online marketing and branding boutique. She's also a soul marketing strategist helping online business owners build a solid foundation to embrace sustainable success for years to come. Her company helps soulful clients amp their brand. Together, they create an authentic marketing plan through her signature blend of soulful selling and authentic automation. Julia, welcome to Get Gutsy.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you.
Hooray! Hooray. Tell me again, where are you based? Where are you in this great big world?
I am in the mountains of central Pennsylvania in a little place called Selinsgrove. Kind of near Bucknell University, if anybody knows where that is.
Yeah, okay. I had some friends who went to Bucknell, or just like connections, colleagues. So you're a mountain girl like me.
Yeah.
I'm in the mountains too, but not in Pennsylvania. I am in Massachusetts, as you know. Do you love the mountains?
We do. We actually want to retire on a lake in the mountains. If we can find that, mountains and lake together.
Hey, it's possible. We have, where I am, well, it just depends on, what view you kind of want, like water. But anyway, where I am in the mountains, we have a good number of lakes, and I know I have some friends who they have houses that are desirable to like weekenders here, because we have a lot of people who come and get like weekend homes, and so they'll rent out their house for the summer, and then they go get like a lake cabin. Which I think is really fun. It's like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So there's always, if you want something, I bet it's out there, Julia. All right, girl. So you have quite a full business. We're going to get into that. But I want to backtrack. We've known each other for a while. Like how many years? I've lost track.
Like, I think 5 or 6.
Yeah, because we first met in person in New York City, right? When I did that group VIP day. Okay, way back in the day when it was like previous incarnations of Julia and previous incarnations of Jenny. But take us back when you were, kind of more school agey, whether it was, college or whatever your highest level of education was. Like, were you always interested in branding, visual design, inspiring people, like what you do now? Were you doing that way back when? How did you find your way?
Yeah, well, I actually wanted to be like a broadcast journalist
Mm-hmm.
and, just be pretty on camera and read the stories until I realized like you had to write the stories and I hated writing the stories for my school newspaper.
Got it.
So my editor was like, hey, do you want to get out the hot glue roller and copy and paste the newspaper up? And I was like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where I fell in love with graphic design in my high school newspaper. So I had to cram in art classes my whole senior year so that I could go to art school after that, because I always knew I wanted to be a mom at home with my kids, and graphic design I knew would be something that I could do outside of being inside an office.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went into the field of graphic design.
So you went to art school, and what did you fall in love with while you were there?
Well, I kind of fell in love with my husband.
Oh, he was at the same school?
No, I actually started dating him a month before I left.
Wow.
And I went to school in Florida.
You did? I didn't know that. Where in Florida?
I did. I went to Flagler College.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes, my original plan was to move to Florida, find a husband, and live where it is sunny and not in the mountains.
Not in the mountains where it gets cold? Uh-huh. So now you're here where it gets cold, in the mountains. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I fell in love with my husband, and I came back the following semester, and I worked full-time all through college and finished in 3 years because I thought if I graduated sooner, I would get married sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But he made me wait another year. So I've just always been go, like pushing for the next goal.
Uh-huh.
Kind of just always how I've been.
Interesting. So you've always kind of seen what's next, or what you feel like is coming next for you, what's going to get you to that next level. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so you went to art school at Flagler College, like for all 4 years?
Just one semester.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that part. One semester.
Yeah, and then I came home. Yeah, I would have loved to stay down there.
But you missed him. And you just, okay. Yeah. Got it. So you graduated, what was your degree in?
Graphic design. I have a BA in graphic design.
Got it. Okay. So you did Florida for a semester. It was nice, though, while you were there, huh?
It was awesome. It was so cool.
One of my good friends from high school went to Flagler College, and I visited her. She was like a year older than me, so I was a senior, like visiting her. I was like, oh, okay. Got the whole college thing going on. All right. Awesome. And then you got to work. Like, what was your first job out of after getting that graphic design degree?
My very first job was at the Hershey Chronicle. I grew up in Hershey, which was our local newspaper. So I got to do ads and all that boring non-graphic designer-y stuff.
Okay.
And then I got a job after probably about 3 months at an agency. And so I worked there.
That's also in Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And so how long were you working for other people? Because it seems like I just see you as somebody who works for herself.
Well, I graduated college in '99, and I got pregnant with Lexi in 2005.
Okay.
So only about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been self-employed for 11.
So once you got pregnant with your daughter, you went to work for yourself?
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Well, you said you always knew that you wanted to be this mom who is able to work from home. Like you weren't like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom with no projects outside of the massive project that is motherhood. You and I know that. But you wanted to be able to have work that you could do on your own schedule while you're parenting.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. And so what kind of got you into this realm of online marketing, digital marketing, and then eventually coaching?
Well, it's kind of crazy. I really have no idea how I got on a phone call with you. I remember being in my bedroom at my old house and you saying like, JFDI, just fucking do it. And I was like, what is this girl talking about? I'm like, I love her. And I think you were like pitching the retreat that I went to.
The retreat for goddesses? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have no idea how back then I even got introduced
onto
to
my
coaching.
list. Right. As people say that, like, I have no idea how I starting getting emails from you, but they just landed. Like, we sign up for something because, I'm not a marketer who sends emails to people who don't opt in, although those exist, and it's really frustrating. But it's so funny because people are like, I don't know how I got into your world, but somehow I did, and I was on a call or I got this email and it spoke to me. And so, so you came to one of my original retreats, which was called Retreat for Goddesses. We had also done some small group coaching in New York City when I was cruising through there, and you and a few others came to that, and I got to meet you in person. I just knew right away. I was like, that girl, no matter what, you will be successful. Like, you will always find a way, even when we hit roadblocks, because we do. I mean, that's part of it. And so what I look for in, whether it be clients or, students, if they come through our coaching school, is like that they have that stamina, and they have that courage to just look at challenges and roadblocks as just part of the deal. It's just like, well, of course there's going to be a challenge right now. Like, that's what happens. So you also, as you were kind of exploring more about like this whole world and learning how to touch people online and like take your design, because you're so good at that. And I don't think I realized that you had a graphic design degree. I just know that you're amazing at it, but I didn't realize that's what you went to school for. But you also tell us like the timing wise, because it's interesting to see how you've shaped, like how you figured out how to do everything that you're doing and how it plays a role in your kind of lifestyle design and business design. But you got into network marketing and, being a part of a company. You're still a part of that, yes? Yeah, tell us about that. Like, in time wise, like, was that when your daughter was really young? Tell us more about your direct sales journey.
Yeah, absolutely. She was 3 at the time, and I found a booth at a women's expo, and there was 2 different companies, and I grabbed catalogs from both of them, and the one company had a really crappy catalog, and sold about the same stuff. And then 31 had this amazing catalog. I was like, ooh, they've got some talented designers working there for them. And
right.
So I wanted like everything in the book, and the back of the book was like this huge kit of things for $99. And I was like, oh, cool. I can just buy this kit, sell it to my friends, get everything I want in the catalog. So for 3 months, that's what I did. I took all my paychecks and bought everything I wanted in the catalog. And then other people started wanting to know about it and joining my team, and they started selling it. So I had actually even thought about investing in a company that makes their bags are made in the U.S. And so I was going to take my profits and invest in that company. But by that time, it's been 6 months and I had built a team. And that is where I fell in love with coaching and mentoring other women in business.
I love that. And so so you've been doing that. You've been coaching your team, and you have quite a big team. You've been doing that for years and years. And I know you were, successful in your 31 business and really into the whole direct sales model and what that allowed you to do and experience and still be, really hands-on with your daughter. And then talk us through that journey of when you said, hey, I actually want to be a coach in a different capacity, not only for my team, my 31 team, your direct sales team, but you wanted to layer in different kind of coaching, maybe not people who sold 31, right? They weren't going to be on your team, but you realized that you had expertise, you had a real vision, especially around design and branding and marketing. You're brilliant around that. Talk us through that process where you saw, wait, there's another opportunity out there for you.
Yeah, well, I was actually getting frustrated with my team because I'd been putting together all these trainings for them. I even created the first iteration of direct sales school, and I think I had like 3 or 4 people show up and nobody come to the classes. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm here like pouring my heart and soul into this team that doesn't even take advantage of it. So I was like, I know that there's people out there that will pay for this stuff.
Right.
So then that's kind of when I was like, and coaching fuels my soul. So my cup wasn't being filled when they weren't scheduling coaching calls with me anymore. And so I was like, I'm going to go find other people that want coaching. And because I had been in business for myself and have the marketing background, I wanted to coach basically any woman in any business. And my husband has also been self-employed ever since we've been together. So it's just the entrepreneurial thing is just what we do in our household.
Love it.
Passion for helping other people that do the same.
And so when you realize, wait, I want to coach other people. I want to do this thing. And there's others outside of maybe the direct sales realm who realize the value of what you're putting out there, those who might be building, who would you say would be your client base now, like in terms of a grouping? Like, are they personality driven brands, coaches? Like, who's your kind of prime client base at this point in terms of who you coach, and you have like various branding packages where you're helping them build their brand? Who's your ideal client now?
Yeah, they're all really different. Like I have one that's a motivational speaker, one that's a realtor, one that basically wants to empower, like be a coach, but she's totally new to the whole concept.
Right.
But like you saw in me, I see in her, I'm like, oh, like this is her mission. Like I see, I can see what they can't see.
Yes.
So a massage therapist, like all people that just have a heart to serve, basically, that are in a field of really serving people from their heart and helping them. So they like pink and they like my upbeat personality. So
that's important.
It's not really a certain like demographic or niche kind of thing. It's just really people that have a service-based business.
I like what you said. People who have a heart to serve. Yeah, that's beautiful. I like that a lot, and that does really capture it. And you use a lot of hearts in your branding.
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to capture those who have a heart to serve, like they're connected to the heart. And I love what you said. And they're they're into like the pink that I use in my, my bubbly, joyful personality. And I want to point that out for our listeners, that that's really important, that we are who we are, and that if we love the color pink, that we use pink. And if we love hearts, then we use hearts. And that we trust that by making those decisions, a lot of them are design decisions, positioning decisions, that we will attract in those who are absolutely an ideal fit, and we will repel those who are not. We will repel those who hate pink, or like they think hearts are the worst thing ever, And that's good. And what I found, Julie, and I don't know if this has started happening for you yet, but it's really a sign of you getting bigger and like going to another level. But you will have some people who will initially, they might be attracted to your message, they'll take it in, and then something about it will trigger them. Like they'll get upset about something. And it usually has nothing to do with you. It's just their perception of you and what wound got triggered by you being you. And they will let you know. They will let you know that they don't like you in no uncertain terms. And we can't worry about that, because it's just going to be a part of this journey. Has that happened to you yet, Julia?
I actually did have one not too long ago where I had done, my emails have to be pretty. So I use Active Campaign and like pretty emails and like have lots of pink in them. And so this particular one had a pink background, I think with white text on it. And somebody wrote to me, they're like, I'm sure your content is really good, but I can't get past the pink background. It hurts my eyes and I can't even read it. So I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah. Yep. And then you'll have others on your list who are like, that's the best email ever. I want to like swim around in the pink. So yeah, it's totally cool. Oh, that was actually like, a pretty tame response. Yeah. I was like, oh, that was tame. That was like kind. Oh, just wait. It gets better. But that's good. But I want our listeners to know that, so that when that happens, because it absolutely will, you don't just curl into the fetal position and you never say anything again for the rest of your life, because you're so afraid of somebody, saying something hurtful. It's going to happen. It's happened to me. It's not been a ton of times that it's happened to me, but I find that each time I'm moving to another level, it's like, boom, this barb gets thrown at me, and it kind of just gets discombobulating for a moment. And then I do whatever kind of exercise I need to do, whether it's like breath work, taking a shower, doing a salt scrub and releasing any energy that is not mine. And then just remembering, like, what would Oprah do in this situation? Oprah would not care. You can't worry about that stuff. And I know for you, Julia, your mission is so big, it's so important, and you just have so much joy to spread in the world, and so much value that you put out and will continue to put out, that I know that your platform is just going to keep getting bigger. So let's go back in time. Let's go back to like spring of last year, spring of 2015. And at that point, I am starting to kind of put out sound the foghorn, if you will, that, hey, something new is coming. I had seen a real gap in the coaching training market. And I said, okay, no one is filling this, and I can fill it. I want to fill it. I saw a big need where a lot of the kind of old school, traditional coaching schools were churning out and training very skilled coaches, masterful coaches who knew how to hold space and really guide a client, ask great questions, all of it. But they sucked at marketing and entrepreneurship. Like, that just was not adequately covered, especially for those of us who want to do business online, which you and I, that's what we want to do. And then we have all these really awesome marketers, savvy entrepreneurs who are like, ooh, that coaching thing sounds good. I could do that. But they didn't know really what the heart of coaching was all about. That soulful approach to coaching. And so many were crashing and burning with their clients, leaving a bad taste in people's mouths. And there was starting to get, a bad reputation for coaching, a negative reputation for coaching. And I said, wait a second, something's got to be done. And I was going to do it. And so I started, putting out the feeler, starting to send some emails, putting posts on social media. I don't even remember what I had to launch that first ever Get Gutsy Coach Training School. It might have been a webinar or a call. Do you remember, Julia? Because you were
I remember
on it.
You had a whole email sequence, and you kept saying, like, I've got something like coming, and you like really wouldn't say what it was. And I was like, tell me what it is. I had to, wait probably at least a week, if not 10 days. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a webinar or two or three.
Yes. I'm sure it was it was getting something off the ground for the first time. That's always the hardest, because you don't have, quote, the history. You don't have testimonials for that particular product, that particular, program or course or service. But you have history in the market, people know you. And at that point, I had been in business online coaching for years. And it was just time for me to come out with what has quickly become our signature offering. This is really our landmark course. It's not even a course. It's literally, we have our own school, Get Gutsy Coach Training School. And I remember you coming. I believe it was a webinar. You came to that webinar. You were there live. It wasn't even like you were catching the replay. You were there live, and you were the very first student to come into our doors for Get Gutsy Coach Training School. How did you feel when you pushed that button?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was waiting for it. So I was just like, let me in, let's do this. And so I had actually previously, like a couple months before that, had that whole, who am I to be a coach? I didn't go to a training school and get certified or anything. So I'd come to the terms that I had enough experience and I didn't need formal training.
Right.
And I had been looking at some coaching schools. And then this came around. I was like, wait, this is exactly what I need. If I'm going to learn from anybody, it's going to be Jenny, who's home with 3 kids, having this successful business and the life of her dreams. So I'm like, if there's anybody I want to learn from, it was you. So I had no doubt about it. And I wanted that like confidence to say, like, I am a coach, because when you first start out, you're like, I'm a coach.
Right. Like, I think I am. I can coach you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
So I just felt like, it would give me like the tools and the confidence to own it, because I really feel that in my heart of hearts, I don't feel like anybody chooses coaching. Mm-hmm. I feel like you can't learn to be a coach. It's, something that's within you. And so I feel like coaching finds you. Mm-hmm. And then like your program just kind of polishes that and gives you the step-by-step and the tools and the marketing and exactly how to hold space.
Well said. I love that. I agree. You don't choose coaching. Coaching chooses you. Obviously you have to choose in once you realize, like, wow, this is the thing that I've been doing my whole life, right? You look back and you go, oh, I was always that person who my friends came to. Perfect strangers would confide things in me because I just I guess I emit this radar. And you look back on your schooling and how you were that person who was able to navigate through challenges with the team. You were like that brainstorm captain, all of that. And you realize, oh, wow, that is a thing. That is called coaching. Whoa. And I just love that you were that first student. Like, I really could not imagine a better first student in the doors of our inaugural class of Get Gutsy Coach Training School than you. And once I saw your enrollment come through, I was like, here we go. I'm like, game on. Because when you create something, I mean, you feel in your heart like this is good, like this is solid. I feel like the market needs this and I am uniquely designed to deliver it. But you don't know who's going to step forward. Right. And as you experienced from direct sales school, like I'm sure that was an amazing program. Like you poured your heart and soul in there, but sometimes it just doesn't land. Sometimes it doesn't land. It's not the right market. It's not the right time. The offer is a bit tweaked. There's so much. And now you've been doing so much launching yourself, Julia, and working clients. Like, this is a crazy ride. It's like, It's an art and a science. And even if something worked really well one time, you'll do it again and it won't work the same way because just things change. Market conditions change. Facebook algorithm changes, all those things change. But when I saw your registration come through, I just was like, oh, here we go. Game on. And then, for that first class, it was like the students were just under my nose. Like I met a gal who you've become super close with, Michelle Julian. I met her at Kripalu just randomly, which is a personal development and yoga retreat center 20 minutes down the road from my house. And I just knew, I was like, she's one of our students. Another gal read my book, sent an email, Lacey, who Lacey Consolini. She reads my book, sends an email, like replies back to, you send like autoresponders out, like when somebody opts in, it's like, hey, thanks for reading or thanks for blah, 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 blah. And she literally replies like with a very, very long email. And I was like, she's another student who's going to come in the door. Like the universe just kept delivering them up to me for that first class. And it was amazing. And I just want to salute you and thank you for seeing this opportunity and for, being such a fantastic coach. And you went on to earn your Get Gutsy certified coach designation. I think you were one of my first evers to do that. You were in that first few. And since then have joined me on a number of our coaching calls for our community, our membership community, which is called Get Gutsy University. And you just have so much wisdom around marketing and branding. I want to shine a light on you there now. What are some just top tips that you want to share with our listeners when it comes to branding or marketing, just standing out online for our service-based leaders, those who have a heart to serve? What are just some of those top tips that you want to share with our listeners, Julia?
Sure. Well, first of all, I just believe in complete transparency. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of my clients have that feelings of a fraud, which I too had in the beginning. But once you start to own your path and your mistakes and what it is, it frees it up. I wrote a blog post back in April how I was feeling a lot of shame in my business. I had only made, I think, $2,000 in 2 years. And I was like, oh, I'm a business coach. How can I coach people to make money when I'm not making money? And I felt so much shame around it. And it was like, this is totally blocking me up. I wrote that blog post and I got 3 clients immediately after that.
Boom.
And then within 30 days, I made $15,000.
I remember. Yeah, no, it's something awesome, like 15K and 30. I remember when you shared that and I was like, yes. And then I celebrated that. It was like one of our students shared 15K in 30 days. That's amazing. And it was you, like you said, owning it, just owning it. Yeah. Like, listen, I've learned everything I could over these last 2 years, and here's where I was. But what was, do you think the piece that led to your breakthrough was that you admitted the shame?
Yes. So it was just I never wanted to be the person that kind of just kept that hidden and then
right.
was I remember I used to be just like you. I wanted to just be walking the path a couple steps in front of the people behind me and just saying oh, hey, here's where I'm at now. So people can relate to me and see them in me and know that, well, she's been in business for 2 years and made no money and she's telling us about it. Mm-hmm. And she's she keeps moving forward. So like I say all the time, there's no shame in your game. Like never be shameful for where you're at in your business and your brand, because where you're at is where you're supposed to be at that point in time, even if you feel like you shouldn't.
Right. That's beautiful. There's no shame in your game. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Be transparent. No shame in your game. And really, I try to get people out of their heads and into their hearts, because we multi-passionate people like to drink from a fire hose and take in all sorts of ideas and marinate in our own ideas, and it's hard to get focused. So I say if you listen less to your head and more to your heart is going to lead you in the right direction. Like when I launched the first iteration of Direct Sales School, my heart was not in it at all.
But your head was telling you, this is great.
Right. It was like, well, this is your experience. You've been in direct sales for 7 years. These are the people you've been mentoring. Mm-hmm. And so I switched things up, and then it worked.
Okay, that's huge. Listen to that heart. Our head, I mean, our mind is a fantastic, asset, but often our mind is where the ego kicks in and is ruling us with thoughts of like, well, that is what you should do because you have been doing this for so long. And it's just like you had to shift a tad. It was like a lot of your messaging could be the same in terms of what you were teaching. It was just you expanded your audience, and you said, you know what, you can still serve direct sales leaders, but just within your 31 business, like you're serving them, and that's awesome. But you had tried. I remember, like, for a long time, you're like, I'm trying, and like you were just kind of it was tapped out, like you were just trying to dig this hole and like find the gold, and you weren't hitting it. You were not for lack of trying or lack of effort or lack of creativity and ingenuity. And it was just, okay, what I feel like happened to you is you realized you were so passionate about the content that you were teaching, like the stuff that because you've been living it, but you needed to change up the audience, change up who you were talking to. Powerful. Okay, so everybody, be transparent, own your path, own your mistakes. There's no shame in your game, and get out of your head and into your heart. Yeah, that is powerful, Julia. So cool. What are you most excited about right now?
Well, I'm super excited because I just recently launched my own signature program, which has been apparently what I was supposed to birth. I've been pregnant with the last 2 years, and I didn't realize it until I gave birth to my signature program and put it out in the world. And it's like, it feels so good, to have that thing that I do, that nobody does the way I do it, and to tell people about it. And so I have my first 2 students enrolled in that.
Yay!
And I just sent the email like 1 a.m. last night, kind of telling people about it. I was like, I launched this thing, but I kind of didn't tell you about it.
Isn't that interesting, right? You're like, I did it. Oh, wait, I have to tell people about this now.
Yeah, I had a webinar, and I thought, people would buy on the webinar, and then I was like, wait, nobody bought. But then I didn't really send an email telling them like, hey, here it is.
The follow-up. The gold is in the follow-up. Oh, the gold is in the follow-up. That's a very good point. Thank you for sharing about that. The creation piece is huge. You got to have a good product, right? The offer's got to be compelling. But then there's an entire campaign around it. Like that's where the transformation occurs. That's where you touch your people. And for many, you have to touch them more than once. Even if they come to the webinar, you still got to send the freaking follow-up. And another follow-up. And another follow-up. And get on Facebook Live. And try this other thing and get in, do some Facebook posts or get on podcast interviews, or, it's like, and the longer I'm in this game, Julia, the more I realize that, again, it just freaking changes. Like, it evolves so quickly. Right now, we're in our launch for our January 2017 class of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. And, even what we did like 6 months ago to launch our summer class, some of that doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work as well. And so we're having to pivot. We're needing to shift. We're needing to say, okay, there's this new technique that came on the scene. Let's try that, because the market gets saturated, and you have to try different strategies and techniques to get people's attention and sustain their attention, right? To let them know, like, hey, we've got what you're looking for. What is the name of your baby? What's the name of your new program?
Oh, my baby is Create Your Authentic Marketing Plan. And so it's a 90-day intensive. We work on one module a week, which is it's all action based. So 1 week is blogging, 1 week's your lead magnet, 1 week's your newsletter sequence that goes after that. But it's all sequential and it goes in order, and it just teaches anybody whatever they need to do to create, number one, something to sell, and number two, someone to sell it to.
I love that. Well done. Very intelligent. Like I said, I never doubted you would be successful. You are one of our superstar graduates of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. Just so proud of you. I love watching your new creations. Everybody, y'all have to go and check out Julia. How can people stay in the loop with you, Julia? How can they get connected to you and find out all the cool stuff that you work on?
Yeah, my website is my name, juliaslike.com. And I have a little button there on my homepage. It'll either take you into the website or give you my latest offer, whether it's a challenge or some sort of cheat sheet or masterclass. That's right there on the homepage, so you don't have to go looking for it.
Nice. Okay, everybody, head on over to juliaslike.com. Go check her out. It's very beautiful. Again, she's got that graphic design background, so, learn from her. And that's what I'm so excited to be offering up for Gutsy Coach Week. Yes, we're celebrating Rising Star Coaches. We're definitely, we're highlighting a number of our graduates of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. But I want all of our listeners to really watch what y'all have done. You came through our training, but what have you done as a result? How have you evolved your business? What are you creating in the world? Because and every person we're talking to is going to have a different story. They're going to have different outcomes. They're going to have different, projects or creations that they're birthing in the world. And I feel like that is one of the most exciting components of this world of coaching, is that it doesn't have to look one way. You can slice and dice it so many ways. You can take it in whatever direction you want. I mean, some people become a coach and they're like traveling around the world. They're like location independent and they just flit around to different countries all around just all around this amazing planet, and they coach their people on the go, or they just have online courses, they have retreats and exotic locations. Like, the sky is the limit. And you're doing that now too, Julia, right? Like, you have some super fun like multi-day branding retreats. Tell us more about that and how you got that idea.
Oh, well, that's where my direct sales came into play, because when I started that business, like I said, $99, a box showed up my door with everything I needed, the tools, the resources, the samples to have my business. So I thought, with the coaching world, there is nothing like that. There is no coaching in a box. You have to figure it all out yourself. So what I basically wanted to do is create a program that gave everybody what they needed in a box and tied it in a little pretty bow. So I have this 3-day branding retreat where I bring my photographer. It's basically 2 business coaches and 1 client for 3 days. And we just do a year's worth of coaching and strategy in 3 days, get you branded with your photo shoot. And then my team goes to work with creating the lead magnets and the landing pages and the email sequences and all that techie stuff that you can literally spend a whole year just getting those systems in place, so that at the end of the 3 days, our client just has to go home and start telling people, hey, I've got this offer, because we've created that offer. And then my team has made the sales page and made the buttons and all the background techie, back of the house stuff that the person who needs to stay in their zone of genius does not need to be in. So they can go out, they can fill their cup by doing the work that they love and touching the people that they're meant to help. And then someone like my VA, who is, expecting her second baby in January, and she wants to be home with kids, can work her business around doing what she loves to do. She hates marketing, but she loves being techie and behind the scenes and supporting me and my clients. So it's just this like nice, beautiful circle of everybody getting to stay in their zone of genius.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well done. Very beautiful. I love how you connected all those dots. It's intelligent offer right there. Julia, what would you say to a listener who has just taken in this conversation, is really ready to walk that path of a coach, is wanting to get that confidence and the tools to really own, like, yes, I am a coach. I can help people. I'm ready to do that. And they're looking at Get Gutsy Coach Training School. They're looking at that next step and really having that structure and the guidance and the peer coaching and just everything that we've got for them within Get Gutsy Coach Training School. What insight or advice would you give to somebody considering taking this step?
Sure. Well, absolutely. I mean, here's a little background too. I think we had our retreat in October, and I remember at the retreat, I was rooming with Michelle, and I was writing my copy for my web designer. Like, my website hadn't even been birthed yet. So we were at the retreat. I was writing the copy for my website. I had just had my photo shoot. I got certified in October, and then I didn't even launch my website until December 1st. I decided I wanted that to be my business birthday with my rebrand. So this has all been in less than a year, but I really feel that Get Gutsy Coach Training School was like the catalyst that brought everything into alignment for me.
Wow. I like that. Catalyst.
Because I made more progress since, you know, the year since I graduated from Get Gutsy Coaching Training, and I had the 2 previous years, you know, bootstrapping it.
Right. Well said. Yeah, it's that alignment piece. It's so important, alignment. I mean, when our body's out of alignment, we know it. When your life is out of alignment and your business is out of alignment, I always say to my clients, like, you can get away with that for so long, and then all of a sudden, shit gets crazy. Because things either dry up, the clients stop coming, you have relationships imploding, your body gets sick, you know, all that kind of stuff. So thank you for saying that, the catalyst that brought everything into alignment for you. Well, again, just super congratulations, girl. You are rocking it. I am so proud to have been your teacher and that person to bring together this experience for you so you could get in alignment and then do all this amazing work that you're doing. Sky is the limit for you, girl. Not even sky's the limit, like freaking galaxy. Like, there is no limit for you. Okay, I'm not even gonna say that. It's like there's no limit for you. Final question. What is the gutsiest move you've ever made, Julia, and how does it inspire your life and work today?
Well, I think my gutsiest move is to keep moving on this path, maybe when my husband doesn't support. Not that he doesn't support me. At the end of the day, I totally do have his support,
right?
But he doesn't get it.
Doesn't understand.
He doesn't get why I'm at my computer until 2 a.m. Most nights of the week, because he's not seeing me. And I'm doing this for something bigger, for our family, for our future, for the women that I'm going to touch. And so that maybe their path isn't so hard when they figure this out. So for me, the gutsiest thing is just saying, you know, I'm doing this. And in fact, I said that to him one time. It was, you know, pre the $15,000, you know, that I actually had validation that this was a tangible business idea.
Right.
Tears streaming down my face saying, you know, I just hope that you can stay with me long enough to see this all pan out. You know, and we've been together 19 years.
Right. Right.
Married 16 years. But, you know, I'm like, if you think that I'm even going to put this on hold to, you know, pay attention to you right now.
Right.
Like, I've got big work to do, and I'm doing it. And so support me and stand by me and wait and see, or, you know, this is what I'm doing. So you can be on Team Julia, or you can just be frustrated at me. So, and he kind of got it after that, I think.
He's like, okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Everybody take that in, because Julia, you know, and I'm sure you've heard it too, and you have, you know, discovery calls, prospect calls, that kind of thing. And the many people, I need to go talk to my husband, you know, got to go get my husband's permission and things like that. I've heard that a number of times, and I get it. I'm a married woman myself, but when you stand firm in that conviction, I am doing this and I'm with you, girl, because I see things that my husband can't see. He can't see the same future necessarily that I see. He doesn't see all the opportunity, all the lives I'm touching and will touch, all the abundance that will come in as a result of this business being structured the way that it is, the messages going out the way that we can have them go out. And so I often have to remind not only my husband, but other people in my life too, like, this is mission critical. Like, and I've had to kind of scale back on certain friendships, certain relationships, just certain, extracurricular activities that aren't in alignment with the mission, because I'm with you, and it's so great to talk to somebody like you who gets it and isn't going to be deterred or really taken off your course. Like, you've got that North Star, and come hell or high water, you are freaking reaching it. Go girl, go Julia. You are a superstar, babe, and I again am acknowledging you for all the moves that you made, for saying yes to Get Gutsy Coach Training School when it was really just an idea, and you made it real because you were that absolute first student to walk in these doors, to believe in what we were doing. Since then, we have served so many more students. We will continue to. Our January 2017 class is absolutely going to be our largest class in the history of our school, and it all started with you. Oh my gosh, I just want to cry. I want to cry thinking about that. And you know that your name is very similar to my sister's name, Julie.
Yeah,
Julia.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, my mom actually meant to call me Julie.
Wow.
But she never did. Because my middle name's Elizabeth, so she thought Julie Elizabeth was too hard to say.
It is kind of hard. So Julia...
So she named me Julia, but then the A stuck in the E.
Well, you know what's even trippier? Is that my middle name is Elizabeth, and I don't think we ever knew that about each other. There we go. Wow. Do. And you know what? That is so what happens. Like, I don't know if you've had these experiences, but you probably have. But with clients, that you just know that there's a soul contract. Like, there's a soul contract between you, that you were designed and destined to work together, to to impact each other's lives. I tend to attract a lot of Julies or Julias or Juliettes, iterations of Julie. And the fact, Elizabeth has a middle name. The times, like, you'll realize, oh, we have the same birthday, or you have the same birthday as my child, or there's something like that. And so for you, Julia, as that it continues to happen, just take that in. For our listeners, when that happens, take that in and just bask in it. That is magic right there. That is not a fluke. That is not some weird coincidence. That is absolutely divinely led. Our school is all about, we do honor like the spiritual path, and we know that we attract in those who are on that journey, spiritual coaches. Maybe you're not positioning yourself as a spiritual coach, but you have that within you, and you believe that you are here for a reason, that you have a divine assignment, and you are absolutely going to fulfill it through your beautiful business. And so, Julia, keep on rocking, girl. We look forward to supporting you and watching all of your gutsy moves. Everybody go check her out, juliaslike.com. Come back for more. We've got so many more amazing episodes for you. For Gutsy Coach Week and for my podcast, Get Gutsy. We are coming up to our year anniversary for the show. Watch out. We are coming up to our 100th episode. This week is going to happen. You're going to hear from me. I've got a special episode for you for number 100. This is Jenny Fenig sending you so much love, light, and faith as you get gutsy. I will see you next time.
Hey, this is John Lee Dumas of EO Fire, and you're listening to Get Gutsy with Jenny Fenig. Gutsy leaders unite and ignite.
This episode of Get Gutsy was brought to you by Get Gutsy Coach Training School. This is the program teaching the future generation of coaches how to make a difference and a great living. So, if you haven't figured it out by now, I have built my business around this calling of a coach. That is what my podcast is based on. My book is based on that. The courses and programs that I've developed over the years have really allowed this calling of me being a coach to get unleashed in the world in such a massive way. And I am able to be a confident coach because I went through coach training. I learned what it took to be strong and supportive for my clients, and also how to be a phenomenal entrepreneur, a smart marketer, and a savvy business owner. And I realized that there was a total gap in the market for those of you out there who want to train under a successful coach, a successful entrepreneur, someone who walks her talk, is able to provide that gorgeous sacred container for you to claim your expertise and gifts, for you to package up the gorgeous value that you add to the world, and for you to be able to create a lifestyle that is beyond your wildest dreams, for you to be able to help as many people as you care to during this lifetime. And truly, being a coach is just, it's completely epic. So we are in the throes of our enrollment period for Coach Training School. I invite you to check it out. It is going to be absolutely extraordinary. We'd love to serve you in Coach Training School. Come on over and check it out. It teaches you exactly what you need to know now to truly make it as a coach, and you will not find anything in the market quite like this or at such a huge value. Come check us out, coachtrainingschool.com. That's coachtrainingschool.com. Gutsy coaches unite.